Hey, the lone top tens here. There's nothing wrong with giving a child a unique and interesting name, but future parents take note. Don't settle on the brilliant choice that popped into your head at 2:30 in the morning, a half hour after giving birth. Take a moment to make sure that you do not actually hate your child and aren't about to saddle him or her with a moinker that will get them mocked and beaten up for the rest of their lives. A helpful tip: if an actual judge steps in and says nope, you may be just as irresponsible, not to mention weird, as these top 10 parents who try to visit the fallen travesties on their kids. You know what that means, guys. Call them very bad names. And future parents, do not call your children these names. Number 10. Preacher and Cyanide. In 2016, a witless single mother ended up in court after social workers became aware of an extremely poor choice he had recently made. The woman had twins, a boy and a girl, with 3 older half-siblings. This mother also had a long and troubled history with drugs, mental illness, and abusive relationships. It was not any of these things that prompted the social workers to haul her in front of the judge. However, it was the fact that she had named her baby boy Preacher and her baby girl Cyanide. Preacher is a pretty odd choice, but it was Cyanide that really jumped out at the judge, who forced the mother to explain why on earth she would name her daughter after one of the world's most notorious poisons ever. She explained that she chose it because it sounded pretty and because it killed Hitler and Goebbels, which she thought was great. But still, never call her that. Well, the judge ruled that excuse me. The judge ruled that this must be the most ridiculous thing anyone has ever said, that the twin siblings should be chosen the twins' names. While Preacher was not found to be objectionable, so it's much odd, the judge basically revoked the woman's right to name any more kids or to care for them. All 5 of her children are currently in foster care. Number 9. Messiah. In Tennessee in 2013, a couple in the middle of a divorce were arguing before a judge over whose last name their child should have. It was the only point of contention, as the pair had already agreed on the first and middle name. But the judge had other ideas when she heard the first name they had chosen, Messiah, saying that the word Messiah is not a name, but a title that's only held by Jesus Christ himself. The judge went on to opine, labeling this child Messiah places an undue burden on him, as a being human being he cannot fulfill. She ruled that the child's middle name was fine, but his first name had to be changed to Martin, the mother's last name, and that he kept the father's last name as his own. Perhaps unfortunately for the baby, briefly known as Martin, this change didn't stick. An appeals court found that the judge had ruled in accordance with her own religious beliefs. As a result, the parents, who insisted they just liked the way the names sound, got to have their baby Messiah after all. Number 8. Nutella. So France has had a number of interesting cases along these lines of late. French courts are able to bring any newly registered name they deem to be unsuitable in front of a judge. And they just did that in January of 2015 when a couple inexplicably decided to name their baby girl Nutella. If you don't see what's funny about this, then we feel sorry for you, because Nutella is a very delicious hazelnut spread, in my opinion, that's extremely popular pretty much everywhere except for France. Or, I should say, including France. The judge pronounced that it is contrary to the child's interest to be wearing a name that can only lead to teasing or disparaging thoughts. He ruled in the absence of the parents, who did not attend the hearing, that the child's name be changed to Ella, which seems more perfectly reasonable. Number 7. Strawberry. In a similar French case from January 2015, which forces us to conclude that these two sets of parents are definitely friends, a couple was legally prevented from naming their daughter Fraise, the French word for strawberry. Instead, a judge chose the similar sounding Francine. It's a popular name from the 19th century that's very considered elegant, cultured, and not the name of food, which, incidentally, goes pretty well with Nutella. Interestingly, the judge went out of his way to point out that the food reference was not only his reason for denying the name. He was particularly afraid that the girl would be subjected early and often to the popular slang phrase, "Herman ta fleas," which roughly translates to, "Get your butt over here." Seriously, I mean, that's being strict to a child. I mean, if you're so mad. Number 6. Prince William. In a 2015 case out of France this time, you may see a theme developing here. A judge denied a couple's choice of the Prince William name for their child. The judge said it would bring the child a lifetime of mockery and ordered the parents to choose another name. They humbly agreed and picked Mini Cooper. Instead, the judge denied that as well because people thought that whenever they hear that name, it sounds like an automobile, right? As you may have gathered, this has been an issue in France for some time, specifically since 1993. That's when a change in the law meant that parents no longer had to choose from the huge list of government-approved names. Well, that doesn't happen in the US. Well, for all the bizarre choices that have been slapped down since many unusual names still get through, Game of Thrones character names seem to be just fine, and Tarzan and Mogao have also been met with official approval. That's nice. I wouldn't call my children that. But hey, that's fine. Number 5. Hitler. This is probably one of the most controversial out here. You may remember it when a New Jersey couple made national headlines back in 2008 after they insisted that a local shoplift spelled out their 3-year-old son's full name on his birthday cake. Adolf Hitler Campbell. It may not surprise you to know that the Campbell story has not gotten less weird in the intervening years. Shortly after the cake fiasco, the couple's other 8 children, with names like Hendrik Hoynes and Jocelyn Aryan Nation, were taken away by social services. The couple separated. Miss Campbell was arrested for getting up into a fistfight with Mr. Campbell's new girlfriend, and Mr. Campbell showed up to a custody hearing in full Nazi regalia in 2013 to ask for visitation rights. Denied. He was later charged with assaulting his new girlfriend, which now appears to be some sort of family pastime, and went on the run for months before being dubbed, or I should say being arrested in Pennsylvania in 2016. In June of that year, the man lovingly dubbed by the press as Nazi Dad was sentenced to 6 months in jail. Gosh. Number 4. For real. During an ultrasound, New Zealand couple Pat and Sheena Wheaton were inspired when they revealed, or realized, that their new little blunder of joy was for real. Perhaps this revelatory moment happened when Prince was playing in the waiting room. Or perhaps the Wheatons are just huge fans. In any event, they decided right that minute to name their unborn baby boy For Real. It was not a judge that thwarted them, but the New Zealand government registry. They were informed that, since the name contained a digit, their baby's name was not For Real. Undaunted, the couple told the press that they would continue to refer to their child by their chosen name, and will likely raise the issue in court. In the meantime, they went ahead and submitted their much more traditional second choice, Superman. Number 3. You know that A key on your the keyboard? Well, in a less recent case in 2007, a couple was denied by government officials when they chose a name which they said reflects their unending love for their son at, the at key, as if this symbol was used in email addresses. This was even stranger than the sounds that took place in China, which does not use a Western alphabet. Then again, Chinese email users tend to pronounce the symbol in English with a drawn-out T sound. If you're in a crowded street or hard of hearing, this sounds a little bit like the Chinese words ta, which translates roughly to love him. So the parents' explanation has a strange logic Nevertheless, the government declined to let them keep the name. Number 2. BRFXXCCLLL, It's a pretty complicated name when you think about it, but going back even further, a Swedish couple attempted in 1996 to submit the monstrosity above as their boy's first name. Pronounced Albin, they called it a pregnant, expressionistic development that we see as an artistic creation. Now, the couple was before the court protesting a $682 fine for failing to register a suitable name before the child's 5th birthday. They offered to compromise by going the opposite route and changing their kid's name to A, which also met with rejection, presumably after a 5-minute long blank stare. The fine was upheld. Number 1. And we go on to the final with Tulua Does the Hulua from Hawaii. Finally, another New Zealand couple in the middle of the 2008 battle for custody of their 9-year-old daughter faced the wrath of the judge before the arguments, which turned out to be moot, ever got started, which again seems reasonable. Any argument out the mouth of a parent who would name their child Tulua Does the Hulua from Hawaii, but must immediately be taken as suspect. In his decision, the judge noted that the girl refused to reveal her name to friends and asked her to call her Kay, a letter which you may notice does not appear anywhere in the phrase Tulua Does the Hulua from Hawaii. The judge blasted the couple's decision and the decisions of all such parents who cripple their child with social disability. Excuse me, guys. Who cripple their children with a social disability and handicap unnecessarily. But he didn't stop there. The judge removed the girl from her parents' custody altogether and placed her into court guardianship, where she was given a new name that isn't the silliest thing anyone has ever heard. Alright guys, so if you have any other strange names for kids, just let me know in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell, ding 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 ding. Alright, give this video a thumbs up, and see you guys next time in another awesome Top 10. Take care.